All right, well, guess we got to start with Arsenal City. I obviously said in the last video that I did on here that I thought City would go ahead and they would beat Arsenal at the Emirates. I genuinely did have a feeling they were on the back of a few wins in a row. It wasn't pretty, I did say that, but it was winning, and I just thought it was just going a little under the radar. And being there chasing down City in the last kind of 5, 6 years, when they just start to get wins under your belt, that feeling comes back a little bit. And at the end of the day, I was wrong, but in my head, truthfully, what I thought would happen did really happen. They give the ball away very, very early on, and Arsenal capitalise on it with Havertz playing Odegaard. Um, yeah, not like Pep at all. That's literally the staple of what he does and what he's brought to the game. Transformed the game in the last, 10 years at least that he's been involved, more, 15. So that was the first time we've really seen that. I didn't see that one coming. Arsenal go in front and they look good, but Havertz misses that chance at 2-0. To make it 2-0. Huge. And I know he scores later on. And it was a great finish, by the way. But that was a big miss. And my feeling of City winning was because Arsenal give you those moments. And what happened was Haaland did equalise and City came back into the game. And I thought, okay, here we go. Let's see what happens. What then transpires is Arsenal score right after with Partey's goal that deflects. It's unfortunate, but as soon as that went in, I knew it was over. I knew it was going to be Arsenal's because at the end of the day, City and Pep and his best teams don't concede right after that goal. That's a big goal. It's 1-1. Get hold of the ball, get your dominance going again, and they concede right away. And I just knew that was it. And then Arsenal go and do what they should do against that type of City team. They hammer them. And it's great, and it's full credit to them. And I'm not trying to be, what's the word, downplaying them at all just because they're chasing down my team at the top of the table. But in that moment, you should go and beat that City team like that. You can see it was there for the taking. I watched it with my family, and we all said, City are here for the taking. My Uncle Glenn said, this is going to be 5-1. And it was. It was 5-1. So, yeah, they were there for the taking. So I'm not wowed away. It's a great performance. It's a great result. You're beating Pep. You're beating City. There's loads of pros to it. I totally get it. I'm not taking away from them. But I'm not looking at that going, wow, unbelievable. Didn't see that coming. In the game, I didn't see it coming before the game, but in the game, you could see it coming. You could see it coming. And I just think Arsenal will give you those moments. And as Henri said after, on the kind of punditry after, Henri's amazing, by the way, on punditry. What a player and what a pundit. I love the way he talks about football. And that would be a dream podcast guest. Henri said it on there. Games like this, now you're not asking for a number 9, but you have been asking for a number 9, and there's a reason why they've been asking for a 9, and it's because of Havertz's miss there. And by the way, I love Kai Havertz. I think he's their version of Bobby Firmino. People are like, he plays through the middle, he's your striker. He barely scores or he misses opportunities. Yeah, but there's a lot more that they do. And the manager, Arteta, obviously loves him. He plays him all the time. And what you need is other guys chipping in. You need your two wingers or one of your wingers to be absolutely incredible and unbelievable. And that one for them is Saka. And they've been missing him. So I still do think trouble, but they're there. They're thereabouts. For Pep, it's it's not good. They're obviously, I'm gonna go back on about like the rebuild and all that stuff and everything, but yeah, it's not the same City, and they're going to be chasing for fourth. I don't see how they get past Madrid in the Champions League, but then I said they would beat Arsenal this weekend. So what the fuck do I know? But it was good. They're just in a really, really, really tough spot at the moment, City. They really, really are. I mean, the stat about this, a shout out to Beans, by the way, shout out to Greg for this. I'm giving credit. I mean, the stat that they've conceded 35 goals in 24 games, and they only conceded 34 in the whole of the last season. Just really sums it up. Man City have suffered their heaviest defeat in a Premier League away game since losing 4-0 to Everton in January 2017. On the flip side, Arsenal have recorded their biggest ever win in the competition against the reigning champions. Man City have conceded 4+ goals in a game for the fourth time this season, which is now the most times in a single campaign in Pep Guardiola's managerial career. The Citizens have conceded 53 goals in 36 games in all competitions so far this season, only one fewer than in 59 matches last season, which was 54. And then the big one here, Man City have committed 8 errors leading to goals in the Premier League this season. They're outright most in the campaign under Pep Guardiola. I'm not I think stats are useful and you can use them. I don't think I've ever quoted stats much on this or even on the podcast. I'm going to start to sprinkle them in there because they tell a bit of the picture. But yeah, just definitely, sums it up. Absolutely sums it up, and I'm really, really not surprised at that with City. What else have we got this weekend? Moysey and Everton are absolutely flying. That is going to be a horrific game on the 12th of Jan for Liverpool away. I'd honestly rather walk into the Bernabeu than walk into Goodison away, even more so than Old Trafford. It is just always minging. Moisey's back. He's got a bit of buzz back. I know Liverpool are worlds ahead, but it goes out the window for that one. It really does. I know that's a cliche saying, but it does. So, wow. I mean, I can't believe they're scoring the goals that they are scoring. Matthew, my brother, made a good point. Is Brighton's, sorry, not Brighton. This was about the Forest game. What the fuck am I talking about? Ignore that. But moving on to that, Forest beating Brighton 7-0. Brighton played, like Matthew said, just a bunch of attackers. It was almost like 6 forwards, and he's missing a couple of guys in there. So no wonder they got torn to shreds against a Forest team that are still confident even after losing to Bournemouth and wanted to put things right. So yeah, big game. What else have I got here? Ipswich losing to Southampton. That's a bad one. I really thought Ipswich would win that. I thought out of all the teams down there, they looked the most likely to try and be able to courage something up. But that's a bad one. I don't know. That is a bad one. Southampton are terrible. And honestly, Newcastle losing to Fulham. Losing a little bit of momentum. They've got the cup this week, obviously the semi-final against Arsenal that they'll be focused on, but they've lost a little bit of momentum again in the league, and it's not quite clicking. And yeah, it's funny, those teams that are in around that, it's all about this, right? And the top is keeping it here, and if you do have that little drop off, you get right back to it. So Newcastle just lost that momentum, but they've got the big game this week. What else have we got? I mean, Manchester United, I could easily rip into United. I mean, I don't really know what else to say. I'm so glad the whole Rashford thing's over and done with because that was getting annoying. Like, he's done. Something's not been going right there with him for a couple of years, whether it's personal, whether he's not getting on with the managers, whether he's not trying hard. Something's going on, and they needed to get him out, especially if you're telling this guy, Amarim, that you're in charge, you can change the culture around, you can do this. And if he's saying, yeah, I want him out, you've got to do it. So I was surprised at the amount of chit chat, but I kind of been joking with all the boys who do fantasy football with a shout out to the Parky Star Fantasy League. Those boys must hate me because I do spraff some pish on that. But yeah, I've been ripping into United and Rashford and saying he's probably off to Saudi and Louis V trackies and that. And I'm joking. I'm half joking with that. But on the flip side, I seen Danny Murphy say it first, and then Neville said on his podcast, he's going to a manager that's very disciplined. This is where you need to be when the ball's over here. This is where you need to run to. It's going to be disciplined, and it might not be a bad thing for him, but let's see if he can regain it back in. Let's see if he can regain it. But Man United, Amarim, he should be given time. He deserves to be given time as someone that's been a coach and done it at a completely different level again. But time, absolutely. Let him get his guys in. Let him get out. But God, if things carry on this way, are the media going to be on his ass between now and the end of the season and throughout the whole summer? Who are they buying? Who are they selling? It's going to be a saga. It's just going to be media saga. Yeah, let's see how he handles it. I think I'll finish this one off with, and I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this, one of my pals from California, James Blundell. Good man. Big United fan. And I text him saying, any comments on Man United, James, after losing 2-0 to Palace? And he just texted us back saying, we lost 2-0 at home to Crystal Palace. Mateus Tell is no longer coming. Anthony was awarded man of the match in his first match for Real Betis, and Aston Villa have just confirmed the Rashford signing. About sums it up. Just not in a good spot. Anyone that seems to leave seems to do well. So, yeah, let's see what goes with that. Liverpool top of the league, 2-0 away at Bournemouth. Didn't see it. My brother and my dad watched it. I was away with the girlfriend. My brother said Liverpool were very, very sharp, as were Bournemouth, and I seen the highlights, and Bournemouth had a few chances. And again, if you take the chances, the game's different, but 2-0 about as solid a result as you can get in football, especially away from home against Bournemouth. Huge for Liverpool. Semi-final of the Cup this week on Thursday. Spurs got to turn that around. And then FA Cup weekend, Plymouth, before entering the cauldron that is Goodison. So I think I'll kill it on that one. Yeah, it's Monday. Hope everyone has a good one. Peace out.